The next guest speaker is Mr. Sompob. He will talk about the material that used for the electronic vehicle. The company that I'm working for called Covestro, Polycarbonate Mobility Solutions. There's a QR code on the slide here. If you scan it through and you will see what our business is all about, you are welcome to scan the QR code. We'll go quite pretty fast here. So Covestro worldwide, we have around 50 production sites in Europe, Asia and America. In Asia Pacific, we have our factory in Madhapur plant. And 8 of these are equipped with particular large plants, so-called world-scale plants. We also have about 10 innovation hubs. Now Covestro Thailand. Let's have a look at Covestro Thailand briefly. We founded and started up the trading office from 1962. And in 1999, we started the first PC production line 1 at MTP. Then we expanded the production line until 2017. We have a system house in Nikom Bangpo. In 2009, we start at PC Film Line 2. Expanded into year 2010, there's an expansion of the production in PC and BPA capacities. In 2015, we set up Covestro. It's very important this year that we start up our Covestro Thailand. At the moment, we have around 705 employees working for us. Our products include polycarbonate, polyurethanes, coatings, adhesives, specialties, and elastomers. Our head office are located in Bangkok at Sathorn Street. Here are the key industries to focus on. 90% of our business is for automotive and transportation. 16% is construction business. We expand into 17% in wood and furniture. Also 13% for electrics and electronics products. 7% chemicals product and 28 products for sport and leisure, cosmetics, health. Now we focus on the application for the automotive and transportation. With the Covestro, we supply all the applications, integration of the multifunctional displays. The pictures that you see on the screen are the interior. Within the vehicle, we have a display screen. We have a lightweight, flexible, moldable parts, and sustainable surface coating. We also produce comfortable seating with a minimum weight. We also support new mobility concepts such as electric drives and autonomous driving. We have also exterior and interior design. Now we're looking at our polycarbonates products. What we focus on today is engineering products. We have mainly 4 products. We have Macaron. This includes transparency, high heat, and high impact. Then we have APEC. APEC is transparency and higher heat resistance. The APEC is a PC which have a higher heat resistance, up to 100 degrees Celsius. Then we have Blend. Blend is a combination between good balance of high flow combination between PC plus ABS and PC plus ASA. These will give high impacts on strength and chemical resistance. And lastly, macrobend. Macrobend is the combination for the PC plus PBT and PC plus PET. The macroblend has a high quiet toughness and the chemical resistance quite high but low temperature in ductility. Now we look into the application, the example application. This is the interior design. We have the display screen, which is quite a big display screen. It's a 3D shape of model part, which will cooperate with a lot of tier 1 company. With the 3D shape, we use polycarbonate, which is a seamless integration of display into continuous IP panel. When we turn on the engine, you will see there's a display on the screen. This gives you also the day and night mode as well. Also, it gives you a black panel effect. Now we're looking at which trends are we looking at for the Covestro. We have ambient lighting elements, which is quite popular in all ranges for the interior design. If you're looking through the photo in the slide, you will see in a lot of motor show in many countries. For example, in Kia, Nissan, Alfa Romeo, or VW. Let's look at the Nissan model. We use you can see the ambient light within this model. Here are the example of the ambient lighting and connected light. There's a connection to different functions. For example, there's so many different functions. The light will change from the white light to the red light. It shows the signal of if there's any problems occurs. We use polycarbonate materials because podium carbonate is transparent, so that's why it's suitable. It's also heat resistant and quite strong material to use. Now we're looking at the exterior with the electronic vehicle. With the electrical vehicles require less cooling air and seamless grille. There can be many functions. Here are the models that we set up to introduce to our clients. The autonomous cars also have to communicate with their environment, and it can communicate within the functions. Here are the example of the concept that we introduce to our customer. We use black tunnel technology to offer to our clients as well. Now we move on to black panel front hood. Here are the successful case that we offer to our clients. This model used at the Olympic is the macaron hidden. We use specialty into mixed in different colors, compound colors, and we control the purity to achieve the deep black color. With the part that we offer is part we pass through the requirement. Now we'll talk about electric vehicle battery packaging. We talk about the applications and products. We try to reduce the weight of the battery, so what we have to use different type of plastic to help to reduce the weight to become less weight. So the products that we used to reduce the weight to be lower are cell holders, frames and tabs, also cooling solutions. Also with the crash absorber to prevent when there's crash. We also look into top cover, so there are difference of models of top cover. For battery one set, we will use one top cover. The top cover, we use plastic material in order to reduce the weight. And lastly, light vehicle packs. For example, we use it for bicycle or motorcycle. And the plastic that we use a different and special plastic. We'll talk in more details about the plastic at later on. The plastic that we use the plastic that protect the highest crash. And here are the product benefits, the special plastic that we made. Looking at to the pictures, you will see the yellow sign. That's where we adjust. Here are the design or the sample of the crash absorbers. What important is it should be easy to flow and the strength. Now we're looking at the solutions for battery packs. There are three types of models. The first one is cylindrical cell. Secondly, pouch cell. And third one is prismatic cell. The size, the shape are different, as you can see in the photo here. Each model will compact. The top, it should have a top cover with a Covestro. The size, the part of the battery is about 2.0 square meters. The weight is quite light. It's up to 45% weight reduction compared to steel. Also, with this type, it's fire resistant with up to the standard of GB 38031 STD. And there's no limitation in the designing for the battery. Now we move on to the electronic vehicle charging industry. We're looking at the charging station. As we all know, the trend for the EV is upcoming at the moment with the support for the government organization. Because of the price of the oil and gas are high at the moment, so the electrical vehicle are become quite popular at the moment. We have the numbers shown here. In 2019 to 2024, the charging point has increased to up to 31%. And we aim to have almost 12 million cars expected in year 2025. And we expected to have 22 to 27 million charging points globally expected in 2025. So for the application, they're divided into 4 parts. We have charging connector, we have AC wall boxes, and AC public chargers, and DC public chargers. For the charging, we have the AC and DC. For the AC, it's a normal charge, for example, home use. Now we're looking at the technical requirements of the electronic vehicle supply equipment. The first requirement, we will have indoors and outdoors equipment. These could be worldwide, in Europe and in Asia. Depends on different factors. It depends on the weather, on the safety, we need to concerns about the safety, the flame retardant, and providing security against high currents. Apart from that, we have to concern about the impact resistance as well. So the material we use have to be very strong. And lastly, we have to think about the design. We try to achieve the aesthetic design to different colors, give the stylish match. And we use the OEMs to design the colors according to what clients wants.
Display lens, the light guide, the housings and front cover. The last one is the connector housing. Each component has different materials. The charging housing is the front cover. It's the housing connector will have the good impact and strong. Even the low temperature, it still works, and it can stand the high temperature as well. And it must be able to expand the light. That would be the point that distribute the signals. The polycarbonate is a kind of plastic that they use because it's durable. The cosmetics is also able to stand for the chemical resistance. If it's not able to, it could degrade the materials. The final one, the circular economy. For Covestro, they support CE. There are two types of products. The first one is renewable products. We use raw materials which use recycled oil as raw materials. During the process or during the productions, we use solar cell as green energy. The product that we have is to achieve the zero carbon. Not too long at motherhood, we'll be able to make it another type. Is mechanical recycle. Is how we use the plastic waste. For example, the bottle made of PC. We collect that and let it go through the shredding process and separate the dirt. Only bring the plastic or the virgin plastic. We call it mechanical recycle. The proportion of mixing is 30 to 80%, depend on the requirement of our stakeholders. This decreases greenhouse effect. So I try to make it fast too, so that we can finish on time about my topic. Any question or information, just call this number or use this QR code. Any questions from our participants? It's very interesting presentation. This presentation is pretty deep. This is not just for the public, not selling for the public, but it's for specific purpose. We have one question. The cost of materials to absorb the battery protection. What is the cost of the materials? Basically, the cost, we supply only material resin. We supply the suitable materials for this application for the producer, so that they can produce their specifications. This would include the whole process from the beginning until the complete products. So it's a little difficult to calculate the cost. How much is for 1 ton? What is the plastic for 1 ton? How much? The total cost, if it's metal, if it's the second time of production, if it's injection modeling process, the cycling time would be short, but the expensive cost would be the model or the prototype. If we need a high quantity, if it's injection modeling is cheaper, the cost will be lower. The weight, we can reduce the cost about half price. Let's say if it's 1 kilo, if we use polycarbonate or urethane, we can use just half of kilograms. Yes. As far as designing, we need to study about it first. We need to check if it's able to absorb. We need to use the software simulation, the impact test, compression test. The next process, we need to create the prototype. After that, we need to test the actual part. If you have the question about lifespan, if it's metal, has the long lifespan. But what about the plastic and carbonate or urethane? What if we let a car park under the sun? Does it decrease the lifespan? If it's outdoor plastic used, facing UV, facing rain and sun, for a certain period of time, the material would be degraded. So when you choose it for your work, you need to have the function test. You need to study if it's suitable from metal to as a whole. If you cannot change it to plastic, the concept is to mix it between the metal and plastic for the long-term use. That could be one of the solutions. There would be one good quality is not easy to catch fire. Your project could replace the plastic. What is the challenge of your project that you use plastic instead of metal? The standard reference is UL. Measure the class V0, V1, 2, A5, BB. The plastic can catch fire and would be the different period of time. The standard dice is achieved at V0, and there's a lot of details. The thickness, we have to check how much, and the possibility to catch fire. The property that is not easy to catch fire. We need to talk about the evaluation from the beginning, the thickness, to pass the test of UL class. There are different grades. What is the best grade? Is it more expensive than the regular grade? How does the cost factor impact the price? Yes. If it's hard to catch fire, if it's not thick, the thin plastic would be able to catch fire easier and hard to calm down. So the thick plastic would be more expensive. How much? Basically, the number is hard to tell because there are other property more than the UL. Probably it's about 20% more. If that is the number, it's not that expensive. The property you can be adjusted. It's just like you mix your noodles test. You can request your specific question or property. So we can request the property. Yes, we can. We have general grades. If it's not suitable or not able to pass the standardized test, and we don't have the right grade, we can talk to the stakeholders or clients for the new grades to be produced. We have product management to support this. This business you might not be familiar because it's not appealing to the public. Any question for me? I want to ask about reuse oil to materials. Does it degrade the quality? If you use the certain polymer, does it make it stronger? We have the technical data sheet. Equivalent like using the fossil as raw materials. There is no disadvantages. The better the pros or advantages is to be more supported to decrease carbon footprint, and we can be reduce the tax for the price if we compare with the product with the raw or fossil. Renewable product would be more expensive.